Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're talking Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. As a disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is just a research video that I put together. I am thinking about adding this company to my portfolio, and this video will highlight some of the reasons why I'm thinking about it. So, it's been a little bit of time since I posted, so I hope y'all enjoy this and smash that like button.
Talked about really 5G. That's the story that they want to address these days, getting away from regulatory issues, getting away from the lawsuits, the scuffle with Apple. Really, they want to talk about 5G. And I asked him, what's the trajectory going to be like for that? When are investors really going to start to feel the bulk of the benefits? Here's what he said.
You're really going to see it over the next 2 quarters for us, and actually through the next year. If you look at our last earnings call, we essentially gave, I think, a strong guide for our licensing business, which it kind of sits as a proxy for really the Christmas season selling. And then we said, kind of gave a soft indication of what we thought the March quarter would be, which essentially said you're going to see 5G start impacting our product business at that time. And it'll come in 2 phases during the calendar year.
That's awesome. That's informative. It's nice to hear from the CEO of Qualcomm talking about what the impact of 5G will do to the company. The next video I'm going to drop you into will be from a fellow YouTuber who I follow. Y'all need to follow. I'm going to leave his page in the description below. He needs no introduction, but here he is talking about 5G.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm KBHD here. So 5G technology, or the 5th generation of these data networks, has been getting a lot of hype and it's been talked about a lot, and it's been slowly rolled out over the past year or two and getting insane speeds on some phones. So the wavelengths used for 5G technologies can be split into 3 different sections. There's low band 5G, which use frequencies below about 1 gigahertz. Then there's what you call mid-band 5G, which is slot above that, which is faster but travels a shorter distance. And then there's millimeter wave, which is talked about the most, which can give you the fastest speeds and uses the highest frequencies, but travels the shortest distance. And so with 5G, now we're talking about download speeds of anywhere from 50 megabytes per second all the way up to those crazy millimeter wave speeds you might have seen of like 2 gigabytes per second, which is insane. I mean, we're talking like whole TV show season downloads in seconds. So download speeds are nice, but this 5G tech will be useful for far more than just your phone. So having these high-end speeds and low latency in the future will be essential for things like fleets of driverless cars all driving as a swarm and all talking and communicating with each other to never crash, all the way to things like a robot and a surgeon in 2 different states, but that surgery being performed remotely in real time. So I had the chance to use some early 5G. It was millimeter wave, and it was really impressive, but you could tell it has a long way to go before it can be used and rolled out to the world. For starters, it doesn't travel very far and it's very easily blocked by obstacles. That's stuff I talked about in my video, so it would take a lot of nodes and a lot of antennas just to cover a small area like a town, let alone a country or the entire globe. And that would be expensive and time consuming. But even the low to mid-band 5G can still be impressive in terms of improvement in speed. So there's a lot going on, but it is a pretty exciting future of 5G, if I say so myself.
This article is from Barron's. 5G phones are coming, 1 chip stock to buy and 1 to sell. I found this article extremely helpful while making some decisions during my research. The article goes into length describing how at least this one analyst suggests a pairs trade. Investors should buy Qualcomm stock and profit from downside in Intel. It's crazy because I hold Intel and I'm thinking about buying Qualcomm. Intel stock slipped 1.6% to 58.58 in Monday trading, and Qualcomm climbed 1.3% to 91.33. Citi research analyst Christopher Danley wrote in a note to clients Monday that investors should bet against Intel. So, this is weighing on my heart. In the longer run, Daily wrote that it is looking more likely that Intel is having trouble with a new microprocessor fabrication technology and may end up buying production services from Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, TSM. Of the 43 analysts that cover Intel, 16 have the equivalent of buy ratings, 21 have it at hold, and 6 consider it a sell. Qualcomm is an attractive stock at its current prices, according to Daily, because it is selling its chips for higher prices, has made gains in market share for parts used in Apple products, and will benefit as consumers upgrade to 5G mobile devices. He said that when the world upgraded to LTE devices, the royalty rate Qualcomm receives from users of its patent by 0.2 percentage points. So a quick comparison of Qualcomm and Intel stock. I busted out. I want to see side by side how they are performing. So over these different time periods, I've noticed that they kind of move a little bit in sync with each other. The prices kind of do, they don't exactly mirror each other. They kind of cross each other at certain points over the time frames. But this is where it kind of slips up here for me as far as just a little bit of thinking. At the 5-year mark, Intel is outperforming, but overall, the max time that these two stocks have been trading, Qualcomm is just outperforming it crazily. And more recently, at the 3-month mark, Qualcomm has been performing quite well during this downturn. So it does make sense for me to at least be looking at Qualcomm and perhaps doing a pairs trade. This article is coming from CNN Business. Qualcomm is the latest U.S. tech name to back India's Jio platforms. So I wanted to know exactly what Qualcomm has in store with Jio.
Mukesh Ambani wants his tech company to be just as big as Google or Tencent, and he's getting some major buy-in from Silicon Valley. His company, Jio Platforms, landed $5.7 billion from Facebook, and other big investors have also come on board. To start, Jio wants to get millions of small Indian businesses, or Kiranas, online, and that's just the beginning.
This winning recipe will be extended to serve other key stakeholders of Indian society, our Kisans, our small and medium enterprises, our students and teachers, our healthcare providers.
Jio is part of Ambani's massive company, Reliance Industries, India's biggest conglomerate. Reliance has been called India's Exxon, AT&T, and Amazon, all rolled into one. For Facebook, it's the biggest deal since the company bought WhatsApp in 2014.
It just gives you a sense of the importance that Facebook has placed on India. I think it is a special country for us.
It's also a way to start making major money off of WhatsApp. WhatsApp has more than 400 million users in India. It'll be used to connect buyers and sellers on JioMart, an online grocery platform. Now others, including Amazon and Flipkart, have tried to get Kiranas organized and online, but with little success. But many analysts believe that Jio and Ambani have the resources to succeed where others have failed.
Very interesting. Jio Platforms, the tech firm owned by billionaire Mukesh Ambani, has won another investment, this time from U.S. chipmaker Qualcomm. The two companies announced Sunday that Qualcomm's investment arm would pump up to 7.3 billion Indian rupees, about 97 million, into Jio in exchange for an equity stake of 0.15%. Very interesting. Qualcomm dips more than broader markets, what you should know. So this article is going to elaborate a little bit on the dips that Qualcomm experiences and the performance following those dips. So I tried to buy companies at a relatively good price. Prior to today's trading, shares of the chipmaker had gained 10.1% over the past month. This has outpaced the computer and technology sector's gain of 5.46% and the S&P 500's gain 0.02% in that time. Wall Street will be looking for positivity from Qualcomm as it approaches its next earnings report date. This is expected to be July 29, 2020. So I think now, before that date, would be smart of me to possibly get an entry point. The next video I'm going to drop you into is from a little while back ago, not too long ago, from I'm a big fan of Jim Cramer. Here's Mad Money.
Finally, there's the daily chart of Qualcomm, not talked about enough. As Lang sees it, this is a textbook picture of a breakout waiting to happen. Now, this is really interesting because a lot of people left up this one for dead. Qualcomm's currently at 78. It's got about a 3 and change yield. Ceiling resistant at 82. The stock can burst through that ceiling and break out of this triangle pattern that he sees, which would be typical. He thinks it's up, up, and away to much higher levels, and this thing did trade at much higher levels at one point. Lang's absolutely betting on this breakout as Qualcomm's another stock they own for the trifecta stocks portfolio. His reasoning, aside from the fundamentals of this fabulous wireless technology play, Lang's feeling confident about the chart. Qualcomm's volume trends are positive, so we look at some volume, okay? See a breakout on bigger volume there. The relative strength index, that's another important momentum index down here, looks tremendous. Very steep upward slope. We want to see that. But it's still nowhere near being overbought. The Ichimoku cloud recently turned green. It's now expanding. It's another positive. I like that Ichimoku thing. While Qualcomm's pulling back again today, but not that much. Since the bottom in March, every dip in this thing has been a fantastic buying opportunity. Again, it's 5G. If the stock can break out above 82, Lang believes it can make a run for its old highs in the mid-90s. I am with him on this, and when he did the work on it, I was thinking, wow, how many more semis can we own for the Action Alert portfolio? Bottom line, in a market that's suddenly rolling over after an epic rebound from the lows, we need to circle the wagons around high-quality stocks that we can confidently buy into this newfound weakness because they'll be able to make a comeback even if the economy doesn't and even if the market keeps going lower. NVIDIA, AMD, and Qualcomm all fit the bill, and the charts interpreted by Bob Lang suggest that all three could have a lot more room to run. I may be a little more negative than him. I may think that this could have a little downside, but then I'm with him. I think we should.
All right, you heard the man. Big shout out to Jimmy Chill. I'm a huge fan of Jim Cramer and Mad Money. I'm going to drop you into my trading view 1 month window of Qualcomm. Going to highlight some levels of support here. It did break through that level of resistance, which was the low 80s, and it's made a little bit of a run to where we're currently at here in the low 90s. So I feel pretty confident if I were to take a position here in the low 90s because, right, the levels of support, it's not going to drop down much further. I mean, it could, but that's what these levels of support are indicating, that it's going to continue this stair-stepping pattern into ascension. So I feel pretty confident about this company. I do believe that my research has helped me make decisions regarding this company. So it's only because of the long-term outlook that I have as a buy and hold type of investor that I believe in 5G, I believe in Qualcomm, I believe in what the company has set up, not only short-term, but obviously long-term. So I'm going to leave it here. If there's another company that you would like me to research, drop it in the comment section below. I hope that y'all are taking care, staying safe. I hope that y'all's week is going good. So yeah, alrighty, y'all take care.